Hi everyone, I've been meaning to make a video, but it's been pretty crazy between getting ready for Christmas and Thanksgiving and doing stuff regarding the family, and preparing for our oldest birthday party. He turned 6 in just a couple of weeks, and so we're trying to make the most out of everything. And I think I've been running myself a bit ragged because I feel kind of a cold coming on, but it's no big deal. Nothing that I can't talk to my doctor about. I'm wearing a wig today, as you can see. Got it for his party. It's supposed to be green, but obviously it's not. I do want to lead with thank you all for all the views, all the shares, all the comments, the support. It's meant a ton to me. And this video is going to be probably a bit longer because I've been meaning to go through more of how my diagnosis began. I'm currently sitting in the car waiting for therapy to start because that's something that I realized that I needed, and it's been one of the best things that I have to look forward to outside of my regular daily routine, because while everyone else here isn't going through the same thing that I am necessarily, we're all recovering and processing through something. And I think that that community, we have built kind of a support group out of our group therapy. Okay. So I mentioned in my last video, I believe that they found the tumor in April. It was mid-April when I started to feel problems urinating, and then it would feel like a pressure pushing down on my pelvis, and gradually it got worse to where if I laughed or I bent over, I was in a lot of pain, and it severely diminished my appetite because when you're sorry, I was cut off there by my alarm, but when you're in so much pain, you don't realize that your appetite just kind of sinks and food doesn't look good. And you can kind of develop an eating disorder because of what's going on inside of your body. And so I wasn't eating properly. And eventually my boyfriend encouraged me to go to just the urgent care while he had our 3 kids taken care of for dinner. So I went after work one day, and they found what they suspected to be a hemorrhagic cyst, which was about the size of a baseball. It turned out not to be a cyst. After my primary care read through the ultrasounds and the CT scans, it did say malignancy is possible. So that led us to try to get in with an oncologist or a gynecological oncologist, but the referral time, the time that my doctor sent in the referral took too long. I was sitting in pain and we weren't hearing back from anybody, so she said the best thing to do would be to go to the emergency room, tell them what's going on, and they will make sure that you have this surgery done because it needs to come out. So I went up to our local emergency room, Texoma Medical Center, and they sent me to Texas Presbyterian down in Dallas, and that's where I found a gynecological oncologist. They wanted one because all of the scans were showing that the mass was located on my adnexa, or on my ovary. So they were concerned about that. Since malignancy was possible, the oncologist already set up to do a biopsy while surgery was happening. When he opened me up, he realized that it was actually in my abdominal wall, and that's outside of his field. He took out as much as he could, but the margins weren't clear. So there was a period of time, I think it was late May, when we finally got the biopsy results back, and it said that I had a grade 2 liposarcoma, but there was an additional test ran to confirm that it was in fact a liposarcoma, and it was negative on that test. So I was referred to a general oncologist who is also currently consulting with a sarcoma specialist, and they have determined that they're going to call it a retroperitoneal soft tissue sarcoma, because while it exhibits all of the characteristics of a liposarcoma, they can't technically call it that because it tested negative. Excuse me. So that's what we're dealing with. And since surgery didn't get all of it, we found out through PET scans that I have 2 more tumors in the same place. And the biopsy results said the margins weren't clear, so obviously, you know, we knew he didn't get all of it. But I began chemo. My first round went well. We did it in the hospital, and then I came home, and due to the kids, I wanted to be closer to home and try it through the clinic for the next rounds. We had to stop 2 rounds due to my mental health. The first one, my mental health took a real dive, and I had no idea that I had let my mental state go so far. It really took me by surprise, and I went to the hospital for a little bit, the second round, and we tweaked some of my meds, and then we decided to try again. So I went back to the clinic, started chemo there, and again on the second day, I said I don't like these emotions that I'm feeling, and I don't know what it is, but I don't want to feel like this. It scares me because I can't control my own emotions. So we stopped chemo that day, and I'm blessed to have a doctor who was able to step in and say, hey, I need you to go back to the hospital. We need to come up with a game plan, which included therapy, psychiatry, the whole 9 yards, and a promise to go through chemo in the hospital only. That's going to be it. Now, this past round would have been my second full round, and it was hard being away from therapy and my family, and there was some miscommunication between the nurses, which it ended up kind of spiraling me into a panic, and I luckily, again, my doctor was right there, and she had to remind me, you know, I have to finish this. And surgery didn't work the first time. Chemo is my only option. And this is kind of what I'm going through and what I have to go through. There's no choice about it. everyone says that I'm strong, and it's wonderful to hear that so many people look at me that way. But it's crazy because I don't feel strong. I just feel like I'm taking it day by day, and I'm doing the most because of what I have to do for our kids, and so that way I can have a better life after this. But so that just kind of brings y'all kind of up to date. I do want to acknowledge the support that I have, because I am very blessed, and I can't imagine someone going through what I'm going through without the support system that I have. My family, my friends, my care team, everyone that has stepped up so that I can be the best me throughout all of this. I'm so grateful to you, and I promise to you that I will continue this fight, and I will come out on the other end. I'll probably cry a lot. I will probably cry a lot, but that's the plan, and it's what I'm going to do. So keep watching if you want to see how it goes. If not, I understand, but my main goal out of this is to try to connect with other young moms who have received hard diagnoses that, you know, maybe they feel like they can't do it either, but we can. I mean, we have to, otherwise we'll never know how this ends. And so all the shares, the support, the comments, the likes, the views, it gets my story further, and it gets the channel further, and it will get us on a road, and we'll see which road it is. But thank you guys, genuinely.